My name is Mike Donais, Senior Game Designer for Hearthstone, and we're here talking about the Grand Tournament.
So let's talk about your goals heading into the Grand Tournament.
The Grand Tournament, we wanted to show something new, but still something that was very Hearthstone, and something that was still captured something cool from WoW. With the Grand Tournament, we have a whole bunch of knights coming together, jousting, having lances and steeds, and they're from all over the land. So instead of just like humans on horses, you'll also see Murlocs riding frogs or Tuskar riding hippos and things like that. It shows like Hearthstone's more lighthearted, and it's really been a fun set to design.
When it comes to fan feedback, talk a little about how that has impacted what you guys are doing moving forward with this franchise.
We love to read our forums and listen to Twitter and Reddit and all the different kinds of feedback, and we make tons of decisions based on that. I personally make design decisions, making cards, like if they need a card to fill a certain role. For example, Joust is really good against rush decks. Joust is a mechanic that whenever you play a Joust minion, you each reveal a random minion from your deck, and if you have a more expensive minion than your opponent, you win the Joust and get a bonus. That's really good against fast rush decks, and that's from feedback that we got, from our fans, and it's one of the many examples of how we respond.
Once you guys put this game out there and started to see people play it, how did that impact balance-wise what you guys are doing with new cards with this expansion?
Well, in addition to Joust being really good against the rush decks, we also have individual cards throughout the set that are designed to target or just be options if you're losing. For example, we have a few new healing cards that are very powerful, and if you're having trouble with decks because your life is running out, you just put one of those new healing cards in. And there's a lot of other cards like that that are narrow and focused and options, and you might not always want them, but when you do, they'll be there for you.
What are you learning when you watch these guys play professionally Hearthstone as an esport?
It's been awesome to see Hearthstone grow. It started off by growing on Twitch. People were watching it. It became very popular, and then tournaments started happening, and people loved those. And we want to continue supporting that scene and making it better. Whether that means just encouraging the community and supporting the events, or if it means adding new features that'll make those events easier to run. Both those things are really important to us. So we're going to do what we can to make sure we continue to grow as an esport and become awesome.
And from talking to your team in the past, this wasn't actually ever designed for esports. It kind of emerged organically. Can you talk about now the fact that it is, how that influences things as you are creating expansions?
Yeah, originally Hearthstone was just the game that we wanted to play for fun. What would be fun for us to play? Fun first is a big design value of us. And then it went out and everyone was playing it, and because it was so easy to follow as a player, it became a natural esport. The fact that you feel like, hey, I could make that play, I could do that move, I could make that mistake, whatever it was like you could identify with the players, and the action was moving at a speed that everyone could follow and talk about and think about as it was happening. Very nice esport, and then we respond with like more cards that make those esports more fun to watch. For example, a card we recently released was Piloted Shredder, and whenever a Piloted Shredder dies, the whole audience is watching to see, is that going to be a Doomsayer, or is that going to be, a big creature? What's going to come out of that Shredder? And those exciting moments make it a really fun thing to watch.
When it comes to esports, we've seen a lot of popularity with the MOBA genre, which to someone just walking in is a very complex type of thing to follow. Do you feel that the card-based system that you guys have makes this a good introductory type esport experience?
Yeah, we think this is a very accessible esport. The fact that you know what the action is, you know what the cards do, like it's very easy to follow, makes it an awesome esport for people who haven't followed a lot of esports. And then our casters can help support that by telling you like, oh, this guy's doing a tricky thing here, or here's the combo he's trying to make. And he has time to explain that to you before it happens, because Hearthstone moves at a comfortable speed.
When Treyarch, for example, is developing the new Call of Duty, they consult and bring in esports pros when they're working on the multiplayer. Do you guys do anything along those lines with reaching out to esports players as you create new expansions?
Yeah, actually we had Frodan and a few other expert players come into the office just this week, and we have that happen all the time. We like to continue having contact with them. I personally talk to them on Skype occasionally. They'll give me feedback like, this card or this experience or this tournament, and they'll talk to me about that. And we have an esports team that also communicates with them. So we're doing a lot to make sure we create a good experience for those players. And I think we're going to keep doing even more in the future, things we haven't even announced yet that are going to make the esports even better. So
when it comes to developing new expansions like the Grand Tournament, are there specific examples of how consulting with pros impacted what's in that?
When we're designing a set, we like to listen to the pros, we like to listen to the casual players, we like to listen to the hardcore players. All that together sort of informs our set design. One of the things that we heard from our players was they're hesitant to play ladder because we're not giving enough rewards for playing ranked. So we added this new system called the highest rank bonus system, and that's coming out this month in August. And what that does is when you hit a specific rank, say you hit rank 5 for the first time in a month, we capture that number, put it into your quest log, and guarantee you rewards at the end of the month for that number. And if you keep playing and go down in rank, we still give you the rewards for rank 5. And if you go up in rank, we capture that number. So you always get a reward at the end of the month now, and whatever high rank you hit, grats.
When it comes to other esport games, a lot of times I'll talk to a Riot or an Activision, and they'll say, you know, they're really good as they play amongst themselves, but once it gets out there and the pros get their hands on it, they get blown away. How do you compare when you go up and you play against a pro in Hearthstone?
Well, fortunately, we have some awesome players on the Hearthstone design and balance team. I personally have hit rank 1 in North America, rank 1 legend many times, and we have expert player Reels, who was hired off of the pro circuit. He was an expert player, he won several tournaments, and we have a couple other guys on the balance team who are awesome players, and those guys help us at least stay close to the pros. And even though we're not always going to be hardcore playing, you know, with months of iteration, we're going to do the best we can, and we get the idea at least.
Sounds like you're ahead of some of those other studios.
We're lucky that Hearthstone isn't like too Twitch based, because I'm not great at those games, but I'm pretty good at card games.